How can you heal your body, heal your life, and manifest more of what you want in your life? And that's our topic today in this Facebook Live. I'd like to share with you some tips to help you heal your body, heal your mind, and heal your life, and as a result, manifest so much more of what you want in your life. So let's backstep a little bit, just some of the tips. This is the season, as you know, we've all been reminded of, and we're all reminding each other about the importance of gratitude, the attitude of gratitude, the importance of appreciating ourselves, each other, not taking people for granted. I know you know this. However, do you know, and did you realize that there's a direct correlation between appreciating gratitude and genuine feelings of gratitude and being more masterful in what you manifest in your life? So let's take a look a little bit of some of the science behind that. First, we know all the research. For example, those of you who know me, have been following our work, thank you. You know that I'm the lead trainer and the international training director for the Silva Method, Ken Coscia here. And for better than 30 years, I've been teaching this in my Silva Method classes. The importance of appreciation. In fact, I call it, and we play a game in the class, let's have an appreciation party. And it's interesting how often we take each other for granted in our relationships. It's often how we, after a while, we develop selective memory. And we're not remembering the things we liked about our friend, our lover, our spouse, our coworker, the work we do, whatever it might be. And we begin to internalize and focus on what we don't like, you know, the crap, the junk, the stuff that we feel overwhelmed about. Now, why is this important? Again, I know you this, and I hope that as a result of what we're talking about today, this will be a good, strong reminder about the value, the importance of this. You've heard the expression, where attention goes, energy flows. I often like to say, whatever you give attention to, you give energy to. And whatever you give energy to will grow and multiply. The science behind that is, from a neuroscientific point of view, from a positive psychology point of view, it's been very well documented, and even more so as time goes by, that our thoughts are the catalyst to feelings. So whatever thoughts we're harboring, whatever internal dialogue, whatever thoughts we have become like a trigger, a light switch, if you will, to cause us to elicit feelings, emotions. We have at a cellular level memories of all of our experiences, positive and negative. Again, you know this. And this is why it can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Because if we're not mindful of it, if we're not consciously paying attention to those thoughts, we inadvertently can trigger negative memories, past traumas, you know, things we don't like about our work, whatever it might be. So the thoughts are the light switch, the catalyst to trigger the feelings, the emotions, which then what? Cause the brain to create those neurochemicals, the neuropeptides, those chemical messengers of the body that then take over. And that affects our biology, that affects our physiology, that affects, so for example, if you're a high performer and you want to increase sales, if you want to build your business, if you want to enrich in a relationship with another friend, if you're in sports or the arts or you're a performer of any way and you want to enhance it, this is vitally, not just important, necessary. Again, if you're a student in this field, you know this. But that doesn't mean you're actually practicing it. It can be your best friend or your worst enemy. So once the biology changes, once our physiology changes, if we are worrying, if we are in a state of fear, we cause the stress hormones what? To increase in the body, because an increase of the stress hormones, and they take over. So things that cause us to feel bad and cause our biology, our muscles to tighten, that cause us to get less oxygen and less blood to the brain because of that tension in the body. And if you're an athlete, if you're a performer of any sort, under those conditions, you're more likely to get injured because you're more brittle, you're not as flexible, you're not as buoyant. And when that happens, you could lose your voice. It could tighten your muscles. It can cause us to not be at our best. Why? Because the frontal lobes, our higher thinking functions, get compromised. And it's not very likely that you or I will be at our best when we're in that state of fear, or we're worrying, or we're psyching out, oh my God, what's going to happen? I mean, you get what I'm saying? Can you relate? Can you think of a time? It's the leading cause. So many people are well prepared. So often people are prepared. In my Silva Method classes, I meet so many people. With my coach clients, I meet so many people in here that they're practiced, they're rehearsed, they're experts in what they do. They know what to do, they're well prepared. But when push comes to shove and it's time to do your thing, if they psych out, if they stress out, if they start worrying because of what we're talking about here, they forget things. They don't bring out their best, and they make mistakes. So wouldn't you agree, when you're stressed, you're more likely to what? Make mistakes, silly mistakes. When you're stressed, you're more likely to forget things that you know, and then you walk away and say, oh, but it's too late, right? When we're stressed, we're more likely to lose our temper. When we're stressed and feeling overwhelmed, and we've had it up to here, and we get to that point of overwhelm, we're more likely to lose our temper, maybe get angry, raise our voice, and say things we wish we hadn't said, and damage a relationship, hurt, a loving relationship, whether it be with a coworker, a spouse, a child. I mean, I'm sure can you relate? I'm sure you can. So let's go back to this idea of the attitude of gratitude and appreciation. So what I'm saying is, the thoughts are the trigger, the light switch to the feelings, which cause the brain to release the chemical messengers, which affect the biology, which affects our physiology, which affects how we breathe, how we stand, how we carry ourselves, how we feel, and how relaxed or tight we are. And that affects our performance in anything we do. And of course, ultimately, it affects the results that you're getting. So keep this in mind. That's the science piece of it. So if we go back to this idea of appreciation and gratitude, and I know that in America we celebrate Thanksgiving. In Canada we have a Thanksgiving also. Other parts of the world have different versions of this. I sincerely hope, though, it's not just once a year during the holiday season that we're doing this. And I want you to start doing this on a daily basis. So start journaling, write it out, and then best, close your eyes. And if you're a meditator or you're a Silva Method practitioner, enter your alpha level. Or if you're practicing any form of meditation, do it. Because when you're in that state of meditation, you have the opportunity to create a new state of being. And your thoughts become so real. And whatever you visualize, whatever you're imagining, can literally influence your subconscious and start creating new neural patterns. And as long as you then repeat it periodically, you'll create a whole neural pattern. So it's not a quick fix and it's not instant. It's something that really needs to be done regularly and consistently so that we start releasing that which no longer serves us and create new, stronger patterns of behavior, neural patterns that relate to what we want. So this feeling of appreciation will boost your immune system. Fact. I'm not making this up. This isn't my opinion. Although I've been in this field 47 years, I've worked with thousands and thousands of people. I'm the training director. I've had access indirectly to millions of people who've been through the Silva Method program globally because I traveled the world. I was handpicked by Jose Silva himself back in '84 to be one of 4 people to do that. So I have a lot of, and I tell you this because I've been blessed and fortunate while I was 19 years of age when I started this to have access to a lot of this. And I can tell you that now science backs it up, that when you are feeling appreciation, for example, here's what I want you to do. So right now, think of your relationship with your children, with a spouse, with your coworker, with your work. Do them individually, anything. I appreciate. What is it? And just allow yourself, especially while you're with your eyelids closed, and then write it down, journal it. What do you appreciate? What do you like about it? What do you enjoy? I know you know. Yeah, I know. Been there, done that. Are you doing it, though? Just because we know something doesn't mean we're doing it. The key is actually to practice this. And that's my hope here, that I can somehow influence you in a positive way, that you'll start doing it more regularly. And when you do, you will literally start healing your body, because that attitude of gratitude, that feeling of appreciation, or you could just simply say, what do I appreciate about my life? What are the opportunities in your life that if they weren't available anymore, you'd feel a loss? Who are the people in your life that if they were no longer available to you for whatever the reason, you'd feel a loss? And have you told them that? It's an exercise I want you to do. In addition to doing it journaling, in addition to doing it in a quiet meditative state, go and tell them. Make a phone call. Forget about, I know you could text, sure you can email. That works, but better to hear your voice and call them and say, you know, Mary, Joe, Barbara, I'm so happy you're in my life. I'm so happy that you're part of my team. I'm so happy that I get the opportunity to work with you. I'm so happy you're my student, you're my client. Tell them why. I guarantee you, you will make their day. You will help them to feel good. And sometimes you'll hear them cry, say, I was feeling invisible, like nobody cared. I would tell, if you have a team, if you have people who work for you, if you're a manager, shake their hand and say, thanks for coming to work today. I'm so glad you're part of my team. You're doing a great job. Thanks for the efforts you make on behalf of our organization, of our team, of our movement, whatever it is. Somebody once said to me, by the way, what are you, crazy? I pay him good money to do that, to come to work. Yeah, I'm serious. And when people do it, they've reported back to me so often. People broke out in tears and said, you know, I was beginning to feel like nobody cared about me. I was invisible here. Nobody even recognized the work I do, taking me for granted. We all need to be appreciated. We all need to belong. We all need to feel that what we're doing contributes. You'll help to make this, your family, your community better. You'll help to increase harmony in the family, and in the long run, help to make a better world, which is really the whole point of this. We got a lot of work to do. So that's one aspect of it. And what you're doing when you get into a state of appreciation and gratitude, even just for a couple of minutes in the morning, a couple of minutes during the day, while you're on hold on the telephone or waiting for someone, write down a few things you appreciate, you will create heart and brain, literally, heart and brain coherence. And in this state of coherence, you'll think more clearly, you'll feel better, you'll increase dopamine and serotonin levels, you'll increase oxytocin in your body, all of which are positive hormones, which cause us to feel, yay, you feel good. And you'll boost your energy and you'll boost your immune system. You'll have more energy, more vitality during the day, and you'll help the body heal itself. Our bodies, as you know, are magnificent. They heal themselves. Drugs don't heal us. Drugs help us to eliminate the pain. They help us to get through, those tough moments, sometimes where we just kind of feel like we're losing it. So it's a way you can start healing your body and start healing different aspects of your life. You'll decrease the stress hormones. It'll help you, if you do this at night before you go to sleep, it'll help you to sleep better. If you wake up during the middle of the night, you start worrying about someone or something and stressing, you know how it is. You're not alone. I do it too. I use this myself all throughout my life. And it's not always easy. I admit, you know that. It's not always easy, but it works. And if you just are patient and work with it. So you wake up during that and you start stressing over something, start thinking of people you appreciate in your life. Start thinking of opportunities you appreciate that you're happy about. Next thing you know, you're gone. Or say, depending on your spiritual persuasion, God bless mom, God bless my wife, God bless my grandchild. Use their names, of course. And the next thing you know, if you do that enough, what you're doing is psychologically, you're taking the attention away from the neediness, self-absorption, and you're an act of love, thinking of someone else. You're taking a valuable time and blessing them, wishing them well, or visualizing a smile on their face. And you will literally transform the stressing out, the fear, into a higher. It's been said that the frequencies of love, I can remember, the frequencies of love and compassion help us to free us from the binding energies of fear. And that's what keeps people awake. You get it? I'm sure you do. So start doing this. Now, for those of you who want to manifest, Personally, I mean, it's a cool word, manifest. It sounds so cool, manifesting, how to be a master manifester. And that's what this is about also. However, I believe we're more co-creators. We are more taking responsibility for our lives and creating our own life by virtue of how we think and how we feel. Because how we think and how we feel affects our physiology, affects the brain chemistry, and that affects our physiology, our biology, and ultimately the results. So here's the key. If you want to create more of what you want to enhance your visualization. You know, it's important to visualize your goals, to start in the morning, during the day, or maybe at night, to visualize while in a meditative state. Again, Silva practitioners. Those of you who are not familiar with the Silva method, it's a very cool class. I hope one day I get to meet you. I teach in Chicago. I regularly teach here in Connecticut. I'm blessed that people travel from all over the world. In fact, I'm right here now. If you look in the room, in the eve of starting a 4-day immersion in Farmington, Connecticut tomorrow. We've got a group of 16 people who bless me. They're coming from all over the U.S. Nobody from out of the country this time, but often I do get that. I feel so fortunate. And we spend 4 days building this out. We spend 4 days cultivating our imagination. So please excuse me, because this is just, however long I'm going, 10, 20, or 30 minutes. And I'm going to do my best. However, what we're talking about now will definitely help right here, right now. So here's the point. If we're in a state of fear, if we're worrying, if we're stressing, what happens is we go into survival mode. And when we go into survival mode, we close down our system. And instead of attracting, instead of being like a magnet and attracting, we repel. Think of a time you've been with somebody who they might be expert at what they do, but they're going through a rough patch in their life, and they're just very needy. Is it easy to be with them? Even if you love this person dearly and care deeply about the person, is it easy? Probably not, because sometimes you feel like the life is sucked out of you, right? Because when they're needy like that, they get self-absorbed. It's part of the human condition. We all do it from time to time. It's not just you, it's not just me, we all do. In that state of neediness, though, it's not attractive. Energetically, it pushes away, it repels rather than pulls in. So you got to transform that neediness. I know, honor your struggle, embrace the struggle, and nowhere is it written that life is easy. Sometimes it's very difficult and challenging. But thankfully, we have tools, and with the right training, you can make it not easy, but easier. You can take command of your life, which is a theme I use in my Silva classes. Let's take command. Let's take control of our lives by mastering these inner skills. So the first step is, before you use Mirror the Mind, if you're a Silva practitioner, before you use your creative visualization techniques, before you use whatever manifestation or law of attraction skills you know and use, first get into a quiet, relaxed state and feel some genuine appreciation. Thank you, God. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source energy. Whatever your spiritual persuasion is. Feel it genuinely. It'll also help to motivate your team when you're doing this with them. Not to manipulate them, but just to create more harmony. So isn't it fun to like the people you work with? Isn't it fun to feel good about the people you associate with? That's what I love about the Silva Method classes. I'm graced with people who are cool, who want to make a difference in their lives, who want to be better people. It helps me in my life. It's a big reason why I've lasted 47 years. I'm going to my 48th year. So you want to do that first. Then visualize your goals. Then use your technique that you use to manifest more. And you'll find that you'll be more likely to begin to attract the people, the places, the situations. It's called entrainment in physics, that help you to fulfill your goals. You'll be more likely, because whatever you give attention to, you give energy to. And whatever you give energy to will grow and multiply. So if you're sitting there or laying there at night in bed saying, oh, my life sucks, and you're focusing on what's not working, guess what? You're inadvertently mentally rehearsing what you don't want in your life, and you're giving attention to it, and you're giving more energy to it, and you're reinforcing it, and you're firing and wiring and supporting that old pattern that's not helping. It's a simple principle. It really is. And it's takes a lot of training and time to master it. So practice. And when I say a lot of time, I don't mean years. We're talking days, weeks, months, but you need to be consistent with that. So first, get into a state of grace, get into a state of appreciation, get into a state of gratitude. Then do your visualization and mean it genuinely. And at night before you go to bed, acknowledge the setbacks. Acknowledge your mistake. If you made a mistake, man, I really screwed up. Oh boy, I could have done better. I wasn't on my A game. Take responsibility. And then forgive yourself. Give yourself permission not to be perfect. And then, as if you were a movie actor, go back in time to that event and imagine you doing it better. Forgive yourself, like your movie producers or director saying, cut. And then visualize the scene. Only this time, you're at your best. Whatever that means to you in that situation. So you're going to sleep at your best. You're going to sleep with the visual image and thought, and the subconscious will integrate the dominant last thoughts of the night before you drift off to sleep. It's a powerful, very, very powerful. I spend 4 days in the Silva Method immersion of life and intuition system, teaching people all sorts of skills and tools and ways to master that and build it. And even if you're not a Silva practitioner, right here and now, if you start practicing it, you will see results almost immediately. And the science behind it is you're transforming your energy from neediness, self-absorption, which causes the brain to increase stress hormones, which will cause you to close down. And you'll increase oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin. You're feeling good, your energy levels, and you'll be in a new state of being. So you're going to start defining yourself by a vision of your future, a positive, hopeful vision of your future, rather than what didn't work, rather than the past. We do need to learn from the past. We do need, and be careful. I hear people say just, focus on the future. Take responsibility for mistakes of the past. Forgive yourself, acknowledge them. Because if you haven't forgiven yourself, if you haven't acknowledged them, if you haven't done the inner work, and sometimes we have to ask for help, sometimes we may need, some help, whatever that means to you, therapeutically or otherwise. But once you do handle it, then you're going to move on. Wow. Covered a lot. I know I haven't been as consistent with these. I'm going to do my best to be more consistent, at least once a month or a few times a month. And I want to get to the point of weekly because I travel a lot. I do a lot of overseas work for the Silva Method. I'm not making excuses, guys. I think about you. I want to be supportive. So, and by the way, if you're resonating with this, whether you are a Silva Method practitioner, if we haven't met yet, I'd love to meet you one day. If you're new to the Silva Method and you'd like to find out more about me, about my work, more importantly about the Silva Method, this cool tool that's been around since 1966, please visit my website, silvamethodct.com, Silva Method of Connecticut. I've got a great blog page. It's a video blog, and I do regular video trainings. And they're usually anywhere from 17 to 30 minutes of actual how to do it. I want to be your how to do it guy. So I invite you. There's no obligation. You can just opt in to the newsletter. And my newsletter goes out at least a few times a month, sometimes weekly. You get updates, what's going on, and you'll get video blogs, trainings, or resources that will help you to grow. And it'd be great to work. You'll be honored by it. So I hope you do that. Again, it's Silva Method of Connecticut or silvamethodct.com. I also have some online. I'm just starting with that. I'm old school, guys. I love live training. And I'd rather shake your hand and have you in the class. And I limit my classes, by the way, to 24. You max out. That's it. So everybody's a VIP. Nobody has to pay extra money to sit up front. Everybody gets my undivided attention. And quite frankly, when you're doing guided meditations, whether you're new, especially when you're new, or even experienced, that is essential, because as your facilitator, your guide, I'm watching, calibrating to see how you're doing, and to make sure that if I see that you need some help, I'm there for you, and I can talk with you privately and help. And when you're amongst hundreds of people, that ain't gonna happen. Sorry, ain't gonna happen. And that's one of the things I love about keeping the classes small like this, because then I can really work with you and help you to really transform your life and make it a game changer. So I do have some online things, some mini courses. Some of them are guided meditations that I put together based on this proprietary process that Jose Silva spent 22 years developing. I have a mini intuition course that's kind of fun and games. That'll help you to build confidence with your intuition. I've got some master classes that are really designed for Silva Method practitioners, full transparency. I don't want you to just buy them for the heck of it. And you find them on my TrustYourIntuitionAcademy.com. TrustYourIntuitionAcademy.com. And you can check it out. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you for honoring me with your time. I know time is precious. And let me take a quick peek because I didn't want to interrupt that. I know some people may have commented, and just some of the people who are live, I know most of you are going to watch this recorded. Excuse me, I'm blank for a second. And Kathy Perry. Hey, Kathy. And Pete Anderson, he's from Denmark. And Kathy is a U.S. person. And Oksana, I think, is from Ukraine or Russia. Please forgive me. I don't remember where everybody's from. And Pete saying, hey, Ken, so true what you're saying. When stress goes up, everything good goes down. Great comment, Pete. Thanks. And Soren, I believe this Soren is from Romania. Guys, you got to forgive me because I don't remember where everybody's from. I have friends on my business Facebook page from all over the world. And Amir and and D. Lynn. Hey, Ken. Denise from Ohio. And Denise, I think you're in class with me. If it's the same Denise I'm thinking of. And anyone else coming in, thank you for gracing me, honoring me with your presence. You guys rock. Have a wonderful weekend. And tomorrow, you're not going to hear much from me on Facebook otherwise, because I'm going to be 4 days from 8:30 in the morning till 7 at night with a great group of people that I just get to know, doing the Silva immersion, playing with our intuition, exercising it, helping people to sleep better at night, and helping people to reduce and eliminate pain and take command of their lives, and all sorts of cool things. So thanks so much for being here. Until the next time. Cheers.